Don't you just love Rainbow Cocoa Days? I do. I absolutely do. Today was especially fun because her sister, the owner's sister, who happens to be one of the brides I've photographed before, come in for lunch while I was there. So it's like a little family affair when they all come in. It's so nice to see everybody. Had a lot of fun today. Produced some banger photos. You'll have to follow the Rain Instagram. I'll put a link in the description below so you can see my work when it pops up. But a lot of fun. A lot of fun. The sleeping experiment is not going well. Last night was my first 2 a.m. bedtime and 8 a.m. wake up, which isn't the way it worked. I went to bed at 2 and then up at 6 and then back to sleep and then up again at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it was just, I don't know how long I'm going to persist with this experiment. I kind of dedicated myself to making a video about like a 2-week length period, but I felt so terrible this morning, like absolute trash. So I don't know if that's just a teething issue, like getting back into that routine is what's making me feel like trash, or if it was the routine itself. Which I suppose is why they call it an experiment, because you won't really know until you test it out. So I'm going to stick in with it for a little while yet and see how we feel over the next couple of days. But ooh, if I get too many more mornings like I had this morning, I will not keep up with this for long. Struggling to come up with ideas today. I'm going to put it down to my brain being absolutely exhausted due to the time I spent awake last night. I don't want to use that as an excuse though, because if I do persist with this experiment for more than a week, then I have that excuse for a week. So I don't know what it is. I just in a fog today, in a fog. So I kind of glanced over the fact that I had a meeting yesterday. I'm in a rather strange, or unique, I suppose is a better way to put it, situation. A non-for-profit reached out to me and they want help with a video that they're trying to make. The help they want is that their videographer moves states in the middle of it all, and it hasn't finished being filmed, and they're missing like 30 seconds worth of the end of the footage. So they want me to film the last bit, and then we were discussing whether or not I should edit the last bit, or if they're still in contact with the videographer. What happened was, there was a scene that needed to be filmed and it got delayed, and the videographer had to move before that delay was resolved. But it was a super duper positive meeting. I hope I can talk to you guys more about it in the future once everything's solid and locked in and concrete, and I can talk to them about whether or not there's any NDAs or things like that. But went really, really well. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a young men's mental health non-for-profit. So that's something that mental health generally is something that I talk a lot about, and I'm open about I'm open to talking about. So it would be a great opportunity for me to actually work with them and for them, and I look forward to that, and hopefully everything goes well. I was watching Sorella Moore, who's a YouTuber. I thought she was a photographer, which is kind of what she made her video about. It was about how the old Sorella Moore is dead, and the new Sorella Moore is actually the Sorella Moore that was always buried underneath the surface of the old Sorella Moore that riz out of the popularity of her videos. In a less confusing way of saying, she made a video that went viral, I suppose viral for back then, and instead of continuing to make the content she wanted to make, she pandered to her audience and made the content that they wanted. And what that led is her having this... a breakdown's probably a strong word for it, but she was quite upset on camera, so I'd label it a breakdown. But she's had this career-defining change where she's looked at herself and she's gone, I'm not happy with who I am or what I'm doing or the content that I'm making, so I'm going to risk it all and make the content she wants. Which got me thinking about the content on my YouTube channel, because I, for the longest time, have either wanted to do gaming stuff or wanted to vlog or wanted to do creative stuff, but I've never wanted to do all three. This time around's a bit different. I've spoke to you guys and girls about it before. I just make whatever comes to mind. If it's a WoW video, I make it and I put it on my YouTube. If it's a COD video, I make it and I put it on my YouTube. If it's an adventure, if it's a photography tutorial, videography tutorial, editing, whatever it is, if I've just got an inkling to make a music video, then I'm going to put it on my channel. The risk with that is you diversify your audience so much that there's not a lot of common ground between them. However, I don't think that's an issue. I really don't. If you look at Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, PewDiePie, you know, all those massive YouTubers that have millions and millions and millions and millions of subscribers, there is not a chance in hell that every single one of those subscribers has common ground. Doesn't happen. PewDiePie's content is incredibly diverse. Casey Neistat's not so much, Peter McKinnon's not so much, but I doubt I'd be the only YouTuber that's doing 6 or 7 different things at once. I really do. So another good example is Gary Vee. He was talking about a similar subject the other day. His YouTube channel's, you know, basically entrepreneurial motivation and businessmanship and things like that, but he still does Trash Talk, which is a series where he goes around and buys things off junk piles and then not junk piles, off garage sales, and then upsells them on eBay. And you know, part of the story of that series is that anyone can make money. If you're struggling at the bottom, you can still get up. But when you think about it objectively, that series is completely different to business advice, completely different to the VaynerMedia stuff, completely different to everything else that he's doing, but he still does it. And the way he explains it is that when he dips into the demographics that watch the garage stuff, some of them will have people they influence to watch the rest of his stuff, and vice versa. So I suppose if you apply that to myself, if I made like a gaming video and someone from, you know, the high school demographic watched it, and then their parents were like, what are you doing? Who are you watching on YouTube? And they said, oh, it's that Logan Baker dude. And their dad just so happened to be an avid adventurer, he might like my adventure stuff. Or that kid's mum might be a photographer or a videographer and might be thinking about making the jump herself or himself and look at my channel as inspiration or something like that. But either, I'm going to be less hesitant is what I'm trying to say, in a roundabout way of saying it. I'm going to leave it at that for today and actually try and write something out for tomorrow. But thanks very much for watching. I appreciate you guys and girls so very much. It's not funny. Comment if you want to have a conversation with me. I reply to all my comments. Like if you want more people to see this video. Subscribe if you never want to miss one, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.